Let's continue, children. I think you might do something better with the time, she said, than waste it in asking riddles that have no answers. And she continued her walk. So now Alice was really disappointed. She angrily told them to do some other better work instead of wasting their time on asking useless riddles which have no answers. And she continued to walk. Next, suddenly she found herself in the middle of a field where the Queen of Hearts was playing croquet. Croquet means a game in which wooden balls are driven through a series of square-topped hoops using long wooden hammers. So as Alice was walking in the garden, she suddenly came to the middle of a field. Here she met the Queen of Hearts, who was the ruler of the Wonderland. The Queen of Hearts was playing croquet. Next, her guards and gardeners were shaped like cards. So, since the Queen of Hearts was the ruler, she had guards and gardeners with her. They did not look like human beings but were shaped like cards. Next, one gardener had planted white roses by mistake and then painted them red. Off with your heads, shrieked the Queen. I hate white roses. Shrieked means shout in a high-pitched voice. So children, at that moment, the Queen was actually very angry. One gardener had planted white roses instead of red roses by mistake. Since the Queen did not like the white roses, he painted them red. When the Queen came to know of this, she shouted at the guards to cut off their heads. Next, then she noticed Alice and asked her, "Have you ever played croquet?" Then she noticed Alice and asked her whether she had played croquet. Next, "Yes," Alice timidly answered, "but I've never used a flamingo or a hedgehog." Timidly means nervously. Flamingo means a tall bird. Hedgehog means a small mammal with spikes. So Alice was very nervous and she told the Queen that she had played croquet, but she had never played it with a flamingo or a hedgehog. Next, "Play with me," ordered the Queen, "and let me win or I'll have your head." So the Queen ordered to play with her, and she also gave a condition that only she should win. Otherwise, she will cut off Alice's head. So far, did you understand, children? Good. Let's continue, children. Alice tried her best to play well, but she had trouble with her flamingo. So Alice tried to play well, but she found it very difficult to play with the flamingo. Next, "Off with her head," cried the Queen. So the Queen got very angry and ordered the guards to cut off Alice's head. Next, just then a trumpet sounded in the distance calling court to session. So just at that moment, the sound of a trumpet was heard, which indicated that there was a court session. Next, everyone rushed into the courtroom. "Court is now in session," announced the White Rabbit. So everyone rushed into the courtroom. The White Rabbit announced that the court was in session, which means the court session was about to start. Next, "Will Alice please come to the stand?" And the White Rabbit also announced that Alice should come to the stand. Next, Alice took the stand and looked at the jury box, where the March Hare and the Mad Hatter were making noise. Now, Alice went to the stand and stood and looked at the jury box. In the jury box, Mad Hatter and March Hare were making noise. Jury box means a segregated area where the jury sit. Jury means a body of persons sworn to give the verdict. Next, the Dormouse slept and the Cheshire Cat smiled at her. So, as usual, the Dormouse slept and the Cheshire Cat smiled at her. Let's continue, children. "What's going on?" asked Alice. Alice could not sense what was exactly going on around her. Next, you are guilty of stealing the delicious heart-shaped tarts, accused the queen, and now you must be punished. Guilty means responsible for a specific wrongdoing. Tart means pastry. Accused means charged with an offense. So the queen told Alice that she was charged for stealing the delicious heart-shaped tarts and that she must be punished. Next, off with her head, off with her head, yelled the queen. Yelled means shouted. So the queen shouted again and again to cut off Alice's head. Next, how silly, replied Alice. I did not have the slightest idea what you were talking about. I was only playing croquet. So Alice said it was so silly of them to judge her this way. She said that she didn't have any idea of what they were talking about and that she was only playing croquet. Next, Alice felt someone touch her shoulder. Wake up, you've been sleeping for too long, said her sister softly. I had a strange dream, said Alice. Alice suddenly felt someone touch her shoulder. It was her sister. Her sister told her that she had been sleeping for a long time. Only then Alice realized that her Wonderland adventures were only a dream. Next, she told her sister about the White Rabbit, the Mad Tea Party, the Queen of Hearts, and the trial. So Alice eagerly told her sister about her dream. She told her about the White Rabbit, the Mad Tea Party, the Queen of Hearts, and the court session. Next, but her sister wasn't paying attention. But her sister was not interested in her dream and was paying no attention to Alice's experiences. Next, you're reading again, mumbled Alice. Mumbled means say to oneself. So Alice mumbled to herself, telling that her sister was reading again. And again, as she stretched, Alice saw a little white rabbit with pink eyes scurry behind a tree. Now Alice stretched herself again. This time she really saw a little white rabbit with pink eyes hurry behind a tree. Children, I hope you understood so far. Children, there is no end to Alice's adventures, and it continues. Children, I hope all of you enjoyed this story. Keep reading, keep learning, keep safe until we meet again. Thank you.